How's everybody doing tonight? You see what we got here. Mechanical Celesta from Ugears. Day 4. Some scrap pieces up here. And then there's some pieces that we started building but didn't quite use yet. They don't really look like much, but there's something. We're going to find out very soon, I guess, what these pieces are. What we did build that's significant, I believe it's part of the player piano. It's going to move and do things at some point, but for now you can just like kind of use your hand to make it work. I mean, it's obviously something is going to go on here. Not sure exactly what. So it's kind of like we built that, and then we just kind of got started on these pieces, like, I don't know, whatever these are. Let's find out, shall we? Day 4. So on previous nights, I was talking about education, and particularly self-education, and I thought of something today. When you challenge yourself to complete something, when you what is this? Oh no, that's a broken piece. I'm just going to throw that out so we don't get confused later. So when you challenge yourself to do something you've never done before, and then you stick with the challenge, you get it done, you're probably going to learn something. I mean, the something could be as simple as, like, you know, how to stick with a project until it's done, because you can always like learn that. But you could learn, like, I don't know what you're going to learn. You're going to learn something. So right now I'm doing this stream and I'm up to episode 420. But I didn't start off doing this stream. I'll tell you what I did. I had, well, I'm going to tell you, but let's also dive into the instructions. So we're supposed to be at page 20. So this was page 19. We did that yesterday. Here's page 20. So we're just building more of these. We're going to build 2B3s and 2B4s. So this is what we were doing yesterday. Like, we built these two, you know, sets of whatever the hell these are. And it looks like we're going to build 2 more of them today. So we're going to start with this piece that's going to be called B3. And that's built, we're going to do like a mirror. There's like 2 of them, mirror images, using pieces 26, 30, 31, and 32. So that's 4 pieces times 2. So that's 8. So we're going to go from 269 to 277. And while I start collecting those pieces, I'll tell the story. So I have a garage gym, and it's 182 square feet. It's actually 181.5 square feet. And I had this idea that I was going to do a series of videos, like 181.5 exercises in a 181.5 square foot garage gym. So I did that. I was making YouTube videos. And in the process of doing that, I learned some things. I learned editing, obviously. I learned commitment. I learned that you can film a bunch of videos at once, especially if you're willing to do costume changes and camera angle changes and things like that. And you could do voiceovers. And then there's also, like what you're seeing now, me doing these models, I get these for review. And the first items that I got for review were gym equipment, because I was doing the 182 gym things to do in the garage gym. So, you know, it ended up becoming models. So that basically came from this, but I learned a lot. And I didn't just learn the skills of like video making, which, I'm probably not super skilled at yet, but I at least learned enough to be able to do it. But it's also, I worked with other people. I filmed videos with everyone in my house. And so that has a lot of benefits, just like being productive with the people in your house and working as a team with them and working together. That just has a lot of its own benefits. I don't want to say it's just education, but it is kind of. Wow, I broke this piece. I thought I broke it as I was punching it out. Wow, I broke it so bad. Okay, and I don't think there's an extra one. I don't think there's an extra piece of this. Hopefully it's not going to be a big deal. All right, piece number 30. Wow, how can we not break the second one? I guess we got to punch the middle out first. It's a very like breakable piece. Wow. I got the second one out, but is there an extra of piece 30? I don't know where to even look. There is. There's an extra piece 30. We're so lucky. It's like they must have known that you might break it the first time you attempt to get it out. Is that what this like star, this like, see this plus logo? Do you think that means like spare? Because it's like, yeah, like I think that means spare part. I didn't know what that plus logo meant. I'd seen it before. So it's basically spare parts. So this is a spare 30. Wow, they really saved our bacon right there. See, there's a spare 9 and there's a 9 here. So now, see, we learned something new. We were just talking about you challenge yourself and you'll learn stuff. So we just learned that that's the symbol for spare. Not a huge thing, but what we haven't learned is how to get this piece out without breaking it. We might break this piece too. I'm not really sure. I'm tempted to maybe go in with a razor so I can just cut it out. All right, I think I got it. Yeah, I got it. Wow, okay. We're really lucky that they gave us an extra 30 and we got it out. So what I was going to say is I learned not only working with the people in my house, but sort of it's like we had an experience together. So anyway, you learn a lot of things when you challenge yourself to do something. Like not only do you get something done, but you learn something. Like I don't know what you're going to learn, but you're going to learn something. You challenge yourself to do something you've never done before, and you're going to learn something. I can't tell you what. So, working with the people in my family, I worked, I think my son Nick did the most videos with me, and then my wife did the second most, or actually I think me doing my own videos and Nick helping, that's kind of tied. We were like the two who did the most, and then my wife was third, and then my youngest son was fourth. My youngest son is actually the most like skilled lifter, or the most committed lifter, whatever's the proper term. He's very knowledgeable, he's very strong, but he just didn't like making videos. Maybe he someday will, but at least for this project, he wasn't that into it. But he did great in the videos that he did. And my son Nick did the most videos, so I think I mentioned on another night that I just kind of randomly did those videos, but it turned out to work out great because now my son Nick is at college, and we did like 40, 50 videos together, like in the year before he went to college. So that was kind of great. And actually, I have some news about education and about Nick. To me, it's exciting, big news. To you, it may not be that relevant, but maybe you'll relate to it in some way. So my son Nick went to college without declaring a major, which is not uncommon for freshmen. He's a first semester freshman. And apparently he just finally decided on a major. I mean, what has he been there? 6 weeks? That's actually pretty good that you pick a major within 6 weeks. I mean, some people pick the major when they're in high school, but I think your 6th or 7th week in college, you pick a major, you're doing pretty good, in my opinion. The major that he picked is computer science, which kind of shocked me. Computer science was my major. And honestly, I don't even know, if he understands how difficult a major that is. I remember talking to the kids, my fellow students when I was there, and they were like, oh man, you have the tough, every semester they felt like I had the toughest schedule. They're like, why don't you take a few tough courses? Because everything was physics and calculus and computer engineering, and it was there was no easy courses. So I was kind of surprised that my son would pick it. And I'm slightly scared. I mean, it's genuinely not an easy major. I've been following. He actually goes to the same school that I went to. It was his choice. Anyway, we just built these two things. So let's go on to the next thing, and then I'll talk more about that major. All right, so we need to build 2 more of these symmetric pieces, and they're again 4 pieces times 2 mirror images, 26, 35, 34, 33, and then times 2, so that's 8. All right, so 8 more, so we're going up to 285, from 277 to 285. All right, 26, 35, 34, 33, that's it. All right, so while I'm building that, I'll tell more. So he's going to the same college. So because I went there, I've followed it since I graduated. I mean, I get the alumni newsletter, and I've been following along this whole time. And here's the thing. I've been seeing the computer science department and what they're up to, and I've been seeing the kids. And they're very nerdy looking, which tells me that it's good. The computer science program is actually very good at this school. They have 100%, everyone gets a job. It's a guarantee. In that sense, in terms of getting a job, they have computer science at this college has the best reputation in history. I mean, maybe there's someone better. Maybe Harvard Law School has no problem placing all of their graduates. But computer science grads at Siena similarly have no problem getting jobs, which, by the way, I work with a ton of Harvard Law grads. So it's kind of I'm saying these are the 2 best jobs. These are the 2 best schools and majors to get jobs. Maybe it just seems like that from my perspective, but I know there's ton of Siena graduates in my industry, particularly the computer forensics, which I do. And I actually went back and spoke at the college when I was maybe 5 or 10 years into it. And I went to the recruiting, and I did that a few times. And there's Siena grads all over computer forensic. And I sometimes wonder, did I contribute to that? I was going back, because they only graduate 15, 20 computer science grads a year. And I was going back and telling them about this job, and encouraging them and recruiting them for it. And I think I don't know, I probably contributed in some way to this phenomena. Well, whatever, whether I did or not, the point is he's going to major in computer science, which on the one hand makes me sort of proud that he would pick such a challenging major, but the other hand makes me a little scared. The thing that calms me is I know that he is smart, and he actually got better grades than me in high school. I did great on the SAT, and I do great on any IQ test, and I do great on midterms and finals, but I didn't I don't do great on everything. Like, homework was one of my worst things. And my wife doesn't like for me to tell this to the kids, but I was never a fan of homework. I'm not going to go into the details, but like, computer science was a great major for me in both the sense that I had to do the homework because you had to create a program and the teacher's going to test the program and it has to be right. And that helped both me to get the homework done, but it also helped to communicate. Like, that was like a form of communication for me. Like, I was never super comfortable it took me a while. Let's say I'm 50 years old right now, and it took me a while to be confident in not exactly communication skills. I mean, I could speak clearly. I know vocabulary, and I can remember things, and I can think on my feet and that kind of stuff. But it was more like believing that I can convince people of things. I had a problem with that, and I hadn't yet studied how to do that. So I would like overdo everything. Like, if I'm trying to convince someone, instead of like listing like a couple of good points, I would like go on forever listing like every point that I could think of, which ends up making the person look like they're like overselling it and makes you not believe them. So I was like bad at that. So computer science was good for me because you could QC what the output of the program was. I know that nowadays it's a little. Back then, you were like building like the base functions of everything, and it was kind of like you could tell, like, does this program work or does it not? And it was kind of like an easy major in that way. But nowadays, computers are a little different. It's like, is this program going to motivate the user to use it? Is the user going to be able to understand how to use it? Are they going to achieve what they want? Is the program going to understand what they want before they understand what they want? Is it a pleasurable experience that they're going to come back and use it? Are they going to feel that it's justified like a subscription? It's actually more complex these days, but it's more complex in the soft skills. The hard skills are much easier these days. Now it's like drag and dropping. It's like building a forge map in Halo. Like, computer programming is not what it was in my day when you were doing like assembly language. I mean, of course I was doing like C++, but I was at least studying assembly language and a lot of like complex, I can't remember them all right now. I'm thinking of C++, C, Prolog, Modula 2, Pascal. I'm forgetting them all. Visual Basic for applications. I don't know. I'm not going to list every programming language that I ever worked with. Obviously, HTML and SQL and a lot of things like that. And those are not all languages. I mean, HTML is a markup language. SQL is a structured query language. My point is, I studied a lot. I studied a lot of computers over the years, but they've evolved, and I think that they're actually going to work. They're going to fit his skills. Like, they're less technical. Like, the calculus and the physics and the algorithms is not as important these days, but the soft skills are more important. Did I put these together correctly? Why am I not feeling confident about this? Actually, no, they look good. These pieces look good. Anyway, so I think the computers are becoming easier to program from a technical sense, but tougher to get your program accepted by and used by the user base. So I actually think it's going to work out great for him. But I'm also a little worried because, I mean, technically it's a challenging major. It's not like an easy thing to do. But let's see. I'm there to support him. I almost feel like, should I just retire and he takes my job? Like when he gets out of college, I'll be 55. I literally could just like give him my job. But, that might be a little too much. Maybe he should just find his own job. He already went to the same grade school, high school, and college as me. Now he's picking the same major. You know, will he also take the same job? Will he also, he took the same language as me when he was in high school. He studied the same language. Yeah. Huh. I didn't realize that. Well, we have to get him doing a decathlon because he's tall, super fast, jumps super high. He's super strong. Basically, I did decathlon in college and I was good at it, but I was like short and fat and, not really meant for it. I don't know how I was doing it. I mean, there's other people. Brian Clay was even more successful. And in fact, Brian Clay he won the Olympic decathlon one year. I forget which year. Maybe I'm just going to call it 2008, but really I don't remember which year it was. Anyway, his best decathlon event was discus, which should have been his worst because he was the shortest. And my best event was discus, which should have been the worst because I was the shortest, but I don't know. So I guess I was a Brian Clay style decathlete, and Brian Clay's last decathlon, it ended with him crashing out in the hurdles, which is also the way my last decathlon ended. And it's a common problem for short guys. I mean, those hurdles, you can go over them smooth as long as you don't hit them, but if you're a short guy and you get your a good amount of your foot onto that hurdle, there's going to be problems. Anyway, I don't know why I was talking about decathlons. All right, 21. Oh, because if my son Nick ever takes up decathlon, he'll probably win the Olympics. But I don't know. It's kind of too late. I don't know. He could do it, but it's kind of too late. All right. So 37 and 36, plus that's a bold prediction, win the Olympics. I mean, he's never even pole vaulted. So that's probably, but let's just say he would have high caliber talent if he ever got into it. But to actually win, you have to make it your mission in life, and I'm not suggesting he do that. All right. There's a lot to do here on page 21, but it starts, step one is just two pieces, 37 and 36. Let's just do that. By the way, I'm not sure if I counted. I'm going to rewind the live feed because I'm not sure if I counted those 8 pieces. Okay, since I started, yeah, I did count them. Okay, I counted them. All right, now I'm back up to speed. 2 pieces now. So we're up to 287. Those pieces are 36 and 37. All right, where's 36 and 37? They're actually right here. There's 36. There's 37. And we're just going to pop them out, stick them together. Easy enough, right? We're almost through this board, which is board 2. Board 2. All right, 36. See, sometimes these pieces break, just trying to get them out, especially if they're long, skinny pieces. They're not always easy to get them out. All right, 37. It's solid here, but it's just little skinny, chicken legs at the other end. Yeah. Tricky. All right. So 36 and 37, they're just gonna like go together. By the way, 36 has a hole in it, like a square in it. So probably, you would think then 37 would be like kind of barbed, so it would click into the rectangle there, but it's not. So it's let's see. I guess it's not going to click in. They kind of look like two clothespins. Anyway, let's see how it goes. Yeah, they were supposed to barb those pieces on 37, so they would click into the rectangle. I think so. I think someone messed up. They didn't do it. Someone forgot. They put the rectangle hole in, but they didn't barb the pins on 37. All right, now it's getting tricky. First, they want us to wax up this piece. They want us to actually just sand and wax it. Yeah, it definitely needs to be sanded. And then we're going to like, it's interesting. Do you see in the instructions? All right, take a look at the instructions while I'm sanding this. They're basically, those lengths are all going to line up. Those like 4 like mirror image kind of pieces that we did, they're going to overlap. That's why the like middle rod, which determines the length, was different for each piece. So when you put them together, they're all going to kind of line up, which I'll show that in a minute. All right, I just got to wax this piece. So it shows the names like B1, B2, B3, and B4. But really, I'm not even going to try to remember which one's which, because it's obvious. The long one is B4. The second longest one is B3. So it goes like, what? It goes like inside? I think so, right? And then the third longest one is B2. No, I guess it goes outside. Doesn't fit inside. It must go outside. All right. So there's B4. There's B3. The next one should be B2. Wait a second. Something's not right here. Well, maybe it's the wrong B2. Or maybe it's not B2 at all. Yeah, I don't think it is. I think that's another B3. This is the B2. See, it has a double wide like opening there. That's going to make it fit. We need the one that is going to fit here, because they're left and right kind of pieces. All right, now for the B1. That one's the trickiest one. Which one is it? This way, like this? It goes on the outside. That one goes a little different. So these first ones, they like lift up. I don't know if you can see that. They kind of like lift up because they're like on top of each other. If I keep these together, see, I can lift them all up. You can't see. Now you can see. I lift them all up. But this first one, it's not like that. The first one, it just kind of slides in. But these other ones, they're like connected. Anyway, that's what we're doing. So we got to do the same thing on the other side. So the longest piece, then the second longest piece, then the third longest piece, and then the last piece just slides on the end. That was the easy part. We're just figuring out which pieces are which. Now we have to actually feed them all onto this. That's going to be the not so easy part. All right, so let's just line them all up and see if we can get it through there. All right, it's in. I don't know how deep it's supposed to go in. Let's do the other side. It's actually going remarkably easy. Yeah, that was like way too easy. I feel like something was done incorrectly. Not supposed to be that easy. Definitely, yeah, I don't know what's going on here. It definitely needs like some pins or something. But for now, I don't know what we did. It's like, yeah, that kind of looks right? Does it look like that? I can't really tell. Does it look like the picture? Kind of does. I think it's correct. Does that look like the picture? Well, I'm having kind of a brain freeze here. I can't tell if that looks right or not. Let's just keep going, and at some point, if it's not right, it'll become obvious. All right. We need to add 2/38 as end caps. I think we knew end caps were coming. The tough part is going to be kind of making them fit. What is this caution telling us? I don't know. I have no idea what that caution is telling us. There's a caution here, and I have no idea what they're trying to say. Wood blocks go line up somewhere. Yeah. Oh, okay. I know. I think I know what they're saying. All right, here we go. I think what they're saying is if we look at it from this angle, yeah, there it is. Do you see that? Now it looks like the picture. I mean, really, you can just twist it until it looks like the picture. You know, it's not like a guarantee that it's correct. I'm not sure. Anyway, you can make it look like the picture. I don't know that really convinces me that we have it correct. I don't think that was worth a caution sign, but anyway, it kind of matches. All right, so 2/38. So that's going to put us at 289. So where's the 2/38? They're right here on this board. One at this corner, one at this corner. 2/38. Pop those babies out. Cinch them on. And we built something. Not sure what. I think it's maybe where the hammers are going to attach. The hammers that are going to play the xylophone or whatever you want to call it. Mechanical Celesta. I think the reason it's mechanical is this. That's the player piano part. Like, to me, this is a player piano. To Ugears, it's a mechanical Celesta. But I think the Celesta is the piano and the player is the mechanical. I think. That's what I think. I'll tell you, putting on these 38's not going to be easy because we have to keep it like halfway. And I'm not really sure how to do that. Right now I'm just pinching it with the idea that if I pinch it halfway, if I can line it up, eyeball it to halfway, I suppose I can measure it. It's not working at all. I'm going to take this thing completely out. Yeah, I'm going to take it completely out. Take this completely apart. Put one side on. And then I'm going to put it back together. And put the other side on. Because that was like impossible trying to get that started. Oh, I have good news. It only goes on a little bit. It's tapered at the end. So this 38 only goes on a little bit. So you can't mess up. All right. It doesn't fit in now because I put the end cap on. Okay. So that was a mistake I did. How did I get it in the first time? How the hell did I get it in the first time? Now it's like impossible. Sorry, a bad camera angle for a minute there. You couldn't see what I was doing. Alright, it's in finally. Alright, so what I did, that may have been a bad idea because, as you saw, it created issues. But that's what I did, and that's now what we're doing. Alright, now we got to get the other end on. I think what we have to do is just make sure that it's orientated the same way. Like basically both 38s should be pointing like upward. Or, you know, pointing the same direction. I guess this thing will spin. Alright, I think I got that on. Oh, it's like half on. Okay. Okay. So there you go. We built something that we have no idea what we built. But I have some good news for you. It looks like the picture with the check mark next to it. So that means we built it correctly. Alright, let's take a look at page 22. Alright, I'm liking what I'm seeing on page 22. It looks like we're going to attach the two things that we built are going to get attached to each other. And we're going to add like a rubber band or something. What is that? One rubber band? One small rubber band. $10mm diameter rubber band. Are we just adding one rubber band? It shows here like... No, I think we're adding like 10 rubber bands, right? Are we adding one of them or 10 of them? So this is correct. This is incorrect. Okay. The correct version, the pieces are like spaced out. Incorrect version, they're like jumbled. That's the difference between correct and incorrect. Now I'm trying to figure out rubber band. It's got to be that they want 10 rubber bands, right? Or I don't know if 10 is the right number. Maybe it's 8. All right, let's take a look at the next page. And maybe they've attached to rubber bands. Nope, they only want... Oh, okay, yeah, there's the times 8. You see there, times 8. So really it's 8 rubber bands. But I guess in terms of page 22, it's just one rubber band. So let's call it 290 for page 22. And let's get that one rubber band. And let's do this. I guess they want to focus on getting that first rubber band right. And then they let you loose on the other 7 of them. That's what I think anyway. So let's grab one rubber band and hope we know how to do this. Are all these rubber bands the same size? This one looks tiny. I think they're all the same size. I don't know. I saw there was one bigger one in there, but I think all the ones in there. But I think all the ones in this bag were the same size. All right, so the first connection. How do we do that? Okay. I'm just trying to match up what we have with their image. Let's take a look at the big one more time. All right, so they've got the connection piece on the bottom, and then they're going to bring in the new one and put the pointy sticks into the pointy sticks. Okay, let me show you. So here's the pointy sticks. See the pointy sticks there? I can space them out so you can see them a little better. All right, there's the sticks. I guess they're not that pointy. Now, take a look at this. So here's where the rubber bands are going to go. But look where their sticks are going to go. Like, if you take a look in there, there's I didn't even count this yet. We're going to do it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's where those sticks are going. I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but I mean something like that. All right. I think this has to flip over. Flip over both ways. All right. Does that look right? That does not look right. How about like this? That looks... Does that look right? I think it does. All right, now we got to get those 2 pins in. Can't start until we do that. All right. So those 2 38s, they're going to go to those 2 slots there. I think so anyway. That's my interpretation of what we need to do. Let's see if we're right. It's not an easy connection, and I'm trying to make 2 at once. Maybe I should focus on just one side, which is what I've now switched to. The reason why I was trying to do 2 at once is I was worried the whole thing would fall apart if I only did one side. I'm still kind of worried about that. All right, let's try to get this second one in, and then we'll worry about resetting all of the other pieces. Got it. All right, now they said spacing is good, non-spacing is bad, right? All right, does this look correct? I'm really concerned that we did this wrong. Like, we could have put this whole thing upside down. I think it's good, though. All right, let me pick it up so that we can kind of look at it, the undercarriage here. The way they have it. I think that looks good. So they want to do a rubber band from here to here. I mean, that seems easy enough. All right. Rubber band over this piece and then over the first section. Is that it? That seemed like way too easy. The reason why I say it's too easy, it seems like it's not going to stay in place. Are these going to be hammers? These are going to be the hammers, right? Oh, it's going to stay in place better once we fix this. These pieces are all screwed up. How'd they get screwed up? This is the one with the rubber band. That's why it's pulling up. So this piece was like not wanting to stay down. And that's because this is the piece with the rubber band. Okay. I think this is going to work out. All right. Let's get the 7 more rubber bands. So that means we're now on page 23. And we're putting on 7 more rubber bands. So we'll be at 297 when we're done. All right. And we'll probably, after we put on those 7 rubber bands, probably be done for the night. And then I'll have to decide when I make the compilation, do I cut out me putting on the 7 rubber bands or not. I think I have to leave it there. My theory on those compilation videos is you can cut out the boring stuff if you're going to do like a 10-minute video. But if you're going to do the full build that someone can follow along, then I feel like it's good to leave it. I mean, unless it gets to the 12-hour maximum mark and I have to start cutting the video. But otherwise, I feel like, well, it's going to take you time too. And I might as well keep you company. Of course, you can fast forward if you do it quicker than me. But if not, then, you know, let's assemble together. We'll both be here getting these rubber bands on. All right, so I did the other end. Like, that's what I chose to do first, the other end. I think I'll sort of work my way towards the middle. You know what's weird? These rubber bands, they start to overlap because, you know, the way it works, the rubber band, it fits on 2 sides. Well, the end is a sort of solo, but all the middles, they're like doubles, if that makes sense. The rubber band, there's like 2 rubber bands in 1 slot. So I have 4 of the 8 on, so I guess this is a pretty easy job. Maybe it's going to at some point become tricky, but so far so good. I just dropped the rubber band, but it didn't fall very far. All right, 2 left. Why do they already feel like sticky? I didn't put the rubber bands on yet. I think they're just colliding with the other pedals and getting stuck on them. All right, last rubber band. Turns out working towards the middle was kind of confusing because it was tough to tell which rubber band goes where. But I think I got it. Look at them all. They like stand up now because they're under rubber band pressure. I have to like press on them to use them. All right, I don't know where this is going. I mean, I guess these are going to be the hammers in some way, but right now it's a little weird. And this is where we're going to stop. We're going to stop here. It's all like put together. You know, I don't see any reason to start building something new. Actually, yes, we're going to do 2 more pages. I'll tell you why. Maybe even 3 more pages. Okay, 3 more pages. I'll tell you exactly why. Because look at this page. We're going to build this little comb, and then we're going to attach it. And then we're going to build another pipe, and we're going to attach it. Or are we building 2 pipes and attaching them? Yeah. Yeah, times 2. You see that times 2 there. So we're attaching this comb and then 2 pipes. So it's all going to be one structure. So that means we should do these 3 tonight. So we're moving on to page 24. You know what else? That's going to get us over 300 pieces, which is kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool. What is the piece total? 573? Yeah, so we're already past halfway. So this is probably about a week, this puzzle. For me, I'm like the slowest model builder in history. Everyone else probably does this in 1 day. But whatever. You know, it's not a competition. Though if it was, I probably would not be winning. All right, so we need a 39 and 2 40s. The 40s are the pieces that look like combs. All right, so that's 300. I need to load sound effects onto my YOLO box. They have a Stream Deck. That's what the Twitch streamers use. So they can like press the button and get their air horn and whatever. I have to do that because like we just passed 300 and I wanted to hit the air horn button, but we don't have one. Like I don't have it loaded on the YOLO box. So I have to do that. Note to self, load air horn. Note to self. Yeah, I should do that. I'm going to start doing that because then I can search the transcript like 2 or 3 days later, whenever it shows up, I search for the phrase note to self. And then I'll have my notes. When I was doing the Shadow Ops Red Mercury, by the way, my son Nick also was on those videos with me. We played the co-op. And when we were doing that, I was saying the phrase clip out. So when there would like a cool thing would happen and I would think we need to make a clip of that, I would say clip out in the transcript. So then it would be, we'd remember to clip it out. I actually haven't went back and clipped any of them yet, but all right, excuse me. So here's the piece 39. Here's the 2 piece 40s. They're going to go in this like sort of 3 and 3. These like middle 3 pieces like on 2 different rows. It's actually kind of weird. How many pieces are on this comb? All right, there's 7 pieces. So the 2 ends in the middle. It's a little weird, but there we go. Now, how do we attach this to the main structure? There's a lot of little notes here, kind of like hint, don't screw up. All right. Yeah. Oh, okay. I understand what these combs are. Okay, I'll tell you exactly why these are combs. They're spacers. There's 7. Think about it. We used 8 rubber bands. There's 8 hammers. There's 7 teeth on the comb. These are spacers. 8 hammers, 7 spacers. Right? That's how it goes. All right, they're going to go on top, which is going to push all the hammers down, which is another thing I was mentioning a minute ago. What I don't see is what they're going to clip onto. Yeah, I don't see what they clip onto. Oh, okay, I see. It's on the edge here. There's these little tabs. They're going to connect to these little slots. Tabs to slots. Not brain surgery. What's going to be tricky is threading out, spacing out those bars. But I think it's going to be okay because we could clip on this like V-shaped piece first and line up the spacers second. Like if we mess up, it'll just push the spacers out. It's entirely possible that it's just going to go right on the first try. But if it doesn't, look, see the top spacer got pushed out. If it doesn't, it'll just push the spacers out and we'll take another crack at it. Like it's not really a problem. Look, see that? That's no good. I think what we have to do is take the spacers out and first get the V on. You know what? The back seems like it might be lined up. The back doesn't line up with anything. That's why it's working. I don't know what the point of the back one is. Anyway, I'm going to take the back one off because I want to get this triangle on first and then deal with the spacers. It's not even a triangle. It's more like a mountain. It's not on yet. You know what the problem is? It has to push down all the hammers with all their rubber bands, so they're kind of fighting against me. You see how the front is like dipping up? That's a problem. The hammers are fighting me. And they might be jammed as well. Maybe I do need those spacers on first, because they'll help keep this stuff in order. All right. I'm going to try to put a spacer back in and see if I could push it down without anything getting messed up. It's not working. Or is it? Did we just get it? How's that look? Does that look spaced? That looks pretty good. This one doesn't look like it's spaced. Oh, fuck. Excuse me. Alright. I think that looks good. But it's not on yet. Wow. We're breaking that piece. Okay. I gotta put that back together. That is a vital piece. Cannot be broken. I want to get it on, but I don't want to force it on because I know that that could break it. I also think, I'm not sure if everything's in the comb yet. Which just fell off. Oh my goodness, I knocked the whole piece out? How did I manage that? Didn't I have a bar going through these? I'm confused how this even could fall out. That means the 38 also fell out, right? No, the 38 is still there. Oh, it unclipped. It half fell out. Half of it is still there. All right, let's study the other side. Okay. Okay, it goes here. That's where it goes. It half fell out. I was confused there for a second, like how could it come undone if the 38 is still on? Well, just half came out. Half of it's still on, half of it's out. I think I gotta put this in here as a backstop to put that back on. Tough to get in there. Thank you. Thank you. All right, it's back on. But this top piece did not get on. I'm not sure what to do. Oh, okay. Remember those 38s in there? They're going to hook here. Maybe even we got to hook those first because it'll keep this down. All right, I'm again going to take this comb off. I think it has to go at the end. But I could be wrong. So we want to get 4 pieces hooked together here. I almost feel like the rubber bands also should wait till the end. Because the rubber bands are like fighting against me at this point. Alright, I got 2 on this side. Let's see if we can get the 2 on this side. It feels like they're going on, but I don't know if they're going on straight. No, they're good. It's on. I got all 4 clips on. Now we got to use the comb to straighten them out, which I think will be the toughest part. But once we get the first comb in, second one should be easy, right? Alright, so all we gotta do is space these out properly, and that comb should go in. I just felt one of the clips come off. Wow, why? I guess all the rubber band pressure knocked the clips off. Now I'm thinking maybe the rubber band in there when you make the clips is helpful, but I just can't do it. Can't get it all lined up. Sorry that I'm blocking the camera. Trying to get these spaced out into the comb. Alright. I think they're on the comb. Now I'm going to try to reset the pins. But the fact that they came off once means that they're now looser. Every time they go off and on, they get looser. We got another broken one. Alright, I'm going to try to close it first. I'll fix it second. Wow. I cannot see in there. I can't feel in there. And I think the piece is off. Come on. This puzzle was going so good up until this point. It just won't stay down. I can't get it on those 38s. I don't know if it's the comb or the rubber bands or what is giving us problems. Or if it's just not lined up. I think it just doesn't matter because the rubber bands push it back off. Like, even if I get it on, no, it's off. Look at that. That's completely off. It's so badly off that this pin is folded, which is a problem. We gotta fix that. Oh, I just found a secret. You can push them from this side. More of them are falling apart. And we still don't have it clipped yet. There it is. That's what we need to get in. I don't know if you can even see it. It's right in there. Okay, it's off. I can see. Nope. I don't know whether I'm fighting the rubber bands, it not being lined up, or both. And I feel like if I keep pushing, I'm going to break this piece. One side is on. Man. Gotta take my glasses off and take this off camera so I can see what I'm doing. Alright, now it's easy. Alright, that side's done. This side is off. Alright, that side's done. Okay, it's on. Alright, so if you're like me and you can't see with your glasses on, take them off. Problem is, this piece is now broken here. I don't know how big a problem that's going to be. And we still got to put in those two pieces that fell off. Got to put them back on. Let's put them back. I'm going to put them back on before I put my glasses back on. Alright, it's the same piece on both sides that fell off. It's this like second piece. It's actually the easiest one to fix. Which is why, probably why it fell off in the first place. Oh, it popped off again. How is it why does it keep popping off? I think it's the rubber bands. They push against what we're trying to do. Alright, so let's get the second comb in before we try to fix that top. Otherwise, it's just going to keep breaking. Wow, the second one went in so easy. Yeah, these rubber bands are a killer. They keep popping this off. It's like no matter how many times I put it on, the rubber bands pop it back off. They're stronger than the clips, the tension that's supposed to hold this on. I feel like I need to... I just broke the bottom as well. I feel like I need to add a rubber band. Like, to fight their rubber band. Like a rubber band on top. To fight their rubber bands pushing from the bottom. Yeah, this is destroyed. This whole puzzle probably is now not going to work. Because this piece is just completely destroyed. Wow. Can't believe how badly that went. And by the way, the piece on the next page, it's those rods. If we'd have put those rods in first, they would fight against the rubber bands and this piece wouldn't be broken. Because look, it's like pulled completely off and it's broken. And it's just not going to stay down until we go to the next page and put those two rods in. So why they made us break this piece? We should have put the two rods in first. Like, connect this thing They clearly show it connected. But it can't be connected at this point because the rubber bands are stronger than the connections. Then you go on the next page and you get these rods, which will fight against the rubber bands, which means you won't break this piece. Hopefully this piece has no purpose other than spacing the hammers, in which case this puzzle is still going to work. But if this piece is actually important, then we're done. This puzzle is broken. Let's hope it's not. All right, so we need 241s and 242s. Wax them up, slide them into the base of this thing. So that's 304 pieces, and we're now on page 25. All right, 41 and 42. All right. Here's the 41s and 42s. They put them in pairs, by the way. They put instead of like 241s and then 242s, they did 41, 42. All right, so let's pop them together, sand them, wax them, hope for the best. I guess it was my fault for not looking ahead and seeing that these rods were going to stabilize. I shouldn't have fought that piece. I should have waited till these rods were there to counteract the rubber bands and then put the piece on top. Oh well, you live, you learn. I doubt they gave us a spare of that big piece, that big triangle piece. I'll take a look just in case they did, but somehow I doubt they did. All right. That piece was called 39. Do they have an extra 39? There's where it came from. I don't see one. Unless it's like far away. There's a broken piece. I don't know what that is. I'm still checking. All right, nope, no spare 39. All right, we have to hope these rods clear up everything. I'm going to put one in at each end. And they're going to go into the base, which is the point where it should stabilize things. And it does. It kind of holds things down. Yeah. If we put those rods in first, you'll counterbalance the rubber bands and you won't break that 39 piece. If you do like me and try to do 39 first, which is what the instructions said to do, then the rubber bands are going to pop the 39 off, and if you get frustrated and fight it, you'll break the piece. So try not to do that. Yeah. The piece is completely broken. Luckily, it's not important. We hope. Now I'm trying to get this piece on. Got the other side in pretty easy. Sorry, I'm like spending all night just complaining that the pieces aren't going in. Can't get this side in for some reason. Alright, I think it's in. Now we gotta try to put this back on. It's already been completely destroyed, so I don't know that it will go back on, but let's try.